minutes early, but what I've actually done there is accidentally pressed the going live button whilst I was trying to remove something off the screen, and so that means I've jumped the gun somewhat indeed. Just give me a second. If you didn't hear that. So if you didn't hear that, what I've just said was I've got a screen protector thing on my phone that has been protecting the screen, but has basically broken itself. So the glass itself is covered in bits everywhere. And what I saw there was like something that looked like a bit of a bogey or something on the actual screen itself, and I went to scrape it off and it wasn't there. But what happened was it was right on the button that says live. So I've accidentally gone live just a few minutes early, and I'm sorry about that, but it is only just a few minutes rather than 20 minutes or 50 minutes, or what I normally do is set it to go live and then forget to do it or not realise I've got the wrong time altogether. So I guess you're not really too bothered anyway, are you? Obviously not, because there are 11 people already here, which is good to see. Now you might be wondering, why am I doing another live stream already? It was only 24 hours ago when I last did one. In fact, it was less than 24 hours ago. Yeah, it was less than 24 hours ago. I was in here doing a live stream. Well, today is a very similar situation where the weather is cack. It's cold and it's windy as well. And the job that I would like to be doing, I'm having to wait on a phone call for. And until that phone call happens, I can't do anything about it. I could, if I really wanted to do some stuff on Nigel. Yes. What about, a live Nigel polishing session? I'm sure some people would like that, but I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you'd hate it. Maybe you'd find it ultimately irritating. Who knows? Well, anyway, thank you people for popping along. Oh yeah, I didn't answer the question, did I? And that was, why am I doing another live stream so quickly? Well, the answer is simple. Every time I do a live stream recently, I seem to be getting some really good numbers out of it. And not only that, I do off the live stream and suddenly I have an increase in subscribers. So the good old YouTube algorithm is obviously trying to help me out a little bit right at this very moment. And as a sort of experiment, I want to see whether the same thing happens again. Will the live stream be inundated with people I don't know? Or will it just end up with just a trickle of people I do know that will come along and say hello to me and then think, come on mate, you're milking this a little bit. Because actually, yeah, to be honest, I am milking it. I'm desperate. I want something to take off. I want something to really happen before long. Because this is a tough thing. You do it all the time, making videos all the time. You want something back at some point. You want it to start to click. Something to really happen that makes you feel like it's worthwhile. So in a minute I'm going to read out some of your comments, and I had a chat with my friend Boaty before, and he told me about a thing you can do where you can have questions that you can pick to answer on a live stream. And he said, you won't remember what I've told you, and you won't be able to do it anyway. And the truth is, I have forgotten what it was he said. And the downside is that I can't just read all the comments off because they won't come up. Everything's got to come up for approval. Yeah, right, you see. So I don't think it would work. The only way really would be to have a second person, a person stood here with me that can scan through the comments, and anything that looks like may need urgent attention would be pointed out to me. Or I could even have a messenger, a messenger that will send me messages via messenger telling me to do a particular thing. Now who'd like to do that? Because obviously that is a shortcut. For example, Joe the other day, as in JC Cars with JC. JC with Cars is coming along quite nicely with his channel, but he messaged me about something that was going on in the live stream that I wouldn't have known about until possibly 10 minutes later, and that was a particularly good thing. How often do you see me without a cup of tea? Not very often. And with that, I shall probably start to read some comments just to see who is here. I can see that there are 20 people here, and that's quite a good number to start with, I think. So let's go. Hairy Snid. Hey up, Captain. Hairy Snid of the Hairy Snid Racing Team. A man I like very, very much, actually. And good news from the car that I bought from you. The guy from SETI Alpha 5. The guy from SETI Alpha 5 is called Barry. And I'm going to say, hello, Barry, because that is his name. And he says, good morning, Captain. Indeed it is. Cheap to go. Afternoon, Nigel. Cheap to go. Now, am I familiar with that? Oh gosh, I'm going to catch up with the comments like that quickly. It's unbelievable. Yeah, make sure you've got some comments coming. Otherwise, you're just going to have me rattling on like all sorts of nonsense and stuff. Afternoon, Nigel. I'm not really called Nigel. The car's called Nigel. The channel is called Nigel. I'm called Harry. I'm not. Steve Colg is here as well with some, I can't really quite see that, looks like eyes pointing in a particular direction because he's seen some onions. Could that really be the case? Have you seen some onions, Steve? I've seen them before, but not in the lockup. Oh no, I have. Yeah, I have actually. In fact, I reckon I might even have an onion left. Would that make... I know this is going to make this live stream particularly impressive, but there we go. An onion. It's not the kind of thing you'd expect to see. And that onion has been in this drawer there since October 2022. Yeah, how about that? That is impressive, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's October. Yeah, well, a very long time anyway. Way over a year. The onion is still with us. So I'm going to place it there, and that can be the prize for anyone who really wants this particular onion. It's not really edible because it's gone, well, it's gone rather light. I reckon that could float in the fish tank because all the moisture has gone out of it. And if it hadn't gone, it would have rotted away anyway. So we can say that the evaporation process has saved that onion's bacon. That's a phrase I've never made up before or heard before, and probably never will again, actually. So thank you, Steve Cole, for suggesting an onion. Pure Evil. Evening. Where are you, Pure Evil? Sheffield isn't evening time, is it? Or have you moved? Have you moved somewhere else? Evening. Pure Evil. How's it going, everyone? And that is up to everyone to answer that question. Everyone, because he's addressing everyone, not just me. So you need to answer Pure Evil now. We have a lot to answer to with Pure Evil. We cannot let him down. We need to give him what he requires. John Studley is here. Hi Paul, I'm not stopping. I've had bad news yesterday, so I'm upset. Okay, well that is very unfortunate. You can talk to me via WhatsApp later on if you want to do. If you don't want to do, that's up to you. It's fine. I mean, obviously, it's not very nice what you're going through at the moment, and it's probably not the place to be talking in detail about it. So just message me if you want to, or even give me a call if you like. I'm open ears kind of thing, and I don't want to leave you by yourself to have to deal with it. Okay, John, don't forget. Chin up, John. Hope you're okay, says Barry. And gonna have an onion soon with my steak, says Steve Cole. Onion. Well, you should cook the onion with it, I reckon, rather than just eat the onion. Raw onion. Well, I quite like a raw onion myself, but most people don't. And as most people don't, most people aren't going to do that. Oh, right, I see. I just have no concept of time, says Pure Evil. Well, does that mean that you've got up exceedingly early? You get up exceedingly early and then you spend 12 hours awake doing things, then possibly it could feel like evening, even when it's still whatever time it is now. I'm not sure what time it is actually, can you think of it? I thought it was, oh, it's 2 o'clock, yeah. I set the live stream for 2 o'clock and jumped the gun somewhat, but you know, that's just what you're going to come to expect, isn't it, really? What time is it in Sheffield? Maybe Sheffield's got a new time. Oh, right. Oh gosh, right, that's an interesting one. I think that's worthwhile pointing out and going. Oh. Too Many Cars Steve has become a channel member. Thank you very much for that, Too Many Cars Steve. Everyone else is welcome to become channel members if they like. You can have your name written in green so you can be highlighted and thanked and patted on the back and made to feel like you've done something really useful. Thank you very much, Steve. Right. Hang on. Look. Who's that? New Metal Viking, Johnny Crook. I just have no time, says Johnny Crook, the New Metal Viking. Why not? Oh, there we go. Hang on. I need to do something about that because that will be very loud. Very loud in your ear. When I experienced this before. Come on, right, there we go. Volume's down. I was on the phone to a man called Boaty earlier on. You may know him. And I was having a lovely conversation with him. And suddenly, I had one of those phone calls via Messenger, which interrupts. You know, normally if you have a phone call, someone tries to phone you whilst you're on the phone. It doesn't try and get through, does it? It just goes beep, 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 and you know that someone's trying to call you, and you don't get anything really, really loud. But Messenger phone calling is as loud as what it would be right in your ear. Right in your ear, and my good ear as well. It was not nice. Turned out to be quite good news, but even so, it wasn't very comfortable at all. So I'd rather that not happen. You know what end up though? Oh, gosh. Imagine if every time you take a phone call, what you think to be on the safe side, what you should do is turn down all the notifications on your phone, so you don't get one of those horrible ear blasting situations from Messenger. And you know, people like to talk to you, you know, voicemail through Messenger. That's going to happen quite a lot, and then you're going to be constantly turning up and down the volume. Why can't it just be set at such a thing where if you're on the phone, it doesn't interrupt you? Someone's probably going to tell me that it does have that option on there. I just haven't found it, and I haven't. So, oh, very welcome very much indeed. Let's see who else has joined the chat. And it is oh right, I see. I have no concept of time. I just have no time, says Windy Miller. No, Windy Miller is here, and he says, rather than sup, he has chosen to put a O in there to turn it into soup. Now maybe it means the same thing, or maybe he's telling us something wonderful about what he's about to make for his lunch, tea, dinner, whatever you want to call it. 11s is a bit early, a bit late for 11s, but maybe it's his clocks have stopped. Oh, and there's a point actually. If your clock stops at say 12:30, can you then justifiably have lunch at supper time or something similar? Because that's what the time's telling you. You know it's incorrect, but you can still do it. Still allowed to do. Thank you very much. Too many cars, Steve. Johnny Crook, Johnny Crook, Johnny Crook. Chris McGuire is here, and he says, "Afternoon mustard." To which I acknowledge that particular thing and say afternoon back to you as well. Oh gosh, at last some people joined. We've got 35 people here now. Now, when I was watching Boaty's live stream last night, he started banging on about how he's not desperate enough to ask people to like his live stream. Well, I am. That's only 7 so far. We need to get that up a bit further. You know, make use of the things that are free, like the live stream. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't. Thank you, Chris McGuire. Hooked on Classics is here. Hello, Mustard and chat. Now, Hooked on Classics is indeed Simone, who's a lovely person who I like to do an impression of. And it is as follows. Hi, it's Simone. You like it? I do. I do it all the time. And I've not once been told off for doing it, so I'll probably carry on. Johnny Crook, on the new metal Viking Johnny Crook. Work, 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 but I always have time for you, my baby bearded friend. And I presume that is exactly how that was meant to come out. And he does, he works very hard, does my friend Johnny. Very hard indeed. It looks like I'm not doing today, but the bit that I had to do, I've done. As I did mention earlier on in the live stream, but nobody really paid any attention because they weren't here. I've moved some cars around today in preparation for one leaving the yard. In fact, let's have a game. Let's have a little game. I have been promised that a car is going very, very soon. It could have been today or maybe tomorrow. But which car do you think it is? Have a guess. You may as well. Oh, hang on. Someone's calling me. This might be the man I'm thinking of right now, but because I'm in the middle of a live stream, I can't really take it, can I? So I'm sorry. You just have to wait till afterwards, because this is reasonably important. I'm sure you'll agree. That's another thing, I've mentioned this before. What's really annoying about a phone call is it knocks your camera off, and it knocks your live stream off as well, even if you don't answer it, like it didn't then. It just disappeared. It just disappeared. You disappeared. And I'm sure that there were a couple of people there that would think, oh, well, he's gone. All right, thanks for that. Thanks for letting me know. All right, bye. See you again sometime. It wasn't my fault. So, but I am still going to apologise for it. Hooked on Classics. Boaty, never heard of him, says Simone. Oh, look, a few people have disappeared. Oh, I've got a new voicemail. I can answer that in a bit. Now, many people haven't heard of him. Many people have heard of him. Many people wish they hadn't. And many people wish they had. Apparently, Jeremy Clarkson's heard of him. Yeah, even Clarkson knows of Boaty. Hi Simone, hi Barry. Any new cars in the yard, Mustard? The answer to that is no, there isn't. Although there are opportunities coming up. And there is one exceedingly exciting opportunity coming up quite soon, and I'd love to be telling you all about it, but it's such an interesting surprise. I just don't want to spoil it, and it really would spoil it. It's going to be the most fantastic thing, in my opinion, that's happened to Project Nigel since Toby Charles, but with much more potential. I'm going to leave you guessing at that. I'm not going to tell you anything about it today, because when it happens, there will be a rather big, exciting video around it. Sometimes it's best not to say anything, and in this instance, that is the case. So there are just a few people that know about this. I've tried not to tell anyone, but I've just struggled to keep my excitement in order, and I've had to tell a few people, and I'm not going to tell you who they are, just in case they start telling you. So please don't go fishing for answers, because I don't want to spoil it. Ugh. Gosh, I love surprises. Anyway, yeah, so no, that answers that question. No new cars in the yard. But potentially 3 going quite soon. That's a good number, isn't it? In fact, it's the magic number. It's the magic number of things happening and changing. 3 cars go. 3 cars go. That means there is room for at least 1, doesn't it? Without really any complaint, without any issue. So that will be rather exciting. Windy Miller says, I'm 2 hours ahead of you, so I know what's going on in the near future. Oh yes, of course. Yes, you're 2 hours ahead of me somewhere else in Europe, land. I can't remember where it is you are though, and I won't ask you to explain it again, because I feel embarrassed forgetting where it is you told me you went to. If you did tell me, maybe you didn't. Oh shit, yeah, maybe you didn't even tell me. The British Aviator is here and says, support Nidge. And what he means by that is Nigel. Support Nigel, I presume. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Please do correct me. Any requests for anything really stupid I can say or do? I'm all up for something a bit daring today. Don't know why, just am. I'm 6 hours behind you. It's 8:15 here. Well, that's because you are in Missouri. Is that right? Missouri? Or am I? I'm not going to remember exactly where everybody is, but I would like, in fact, yeah, let's do that again. Anybody that's not in Rochdale, tell me where you are, just for the hell of it, just to see if there's anything interesting I can tell you about the place. There probably won't be, but I like the idea of it. Hooks on Classics is doing a laugh thing. I hope that's my impression that you're finding joyful and not something else. It was pitch perfect too, says Johnny. Oh, right. Top Gear's Steve Berry is going to not collect his car again. Well, that would be unfortunate, wouldn't it? I mentioned him before because he's Steve, although it's been a bit of an inconvenience in buying a car that he's not been able to collect, and he's a very talkative man. I do very much like his company. We always have a good chat together, and with that, I'd like to remain friends with him. So I have no reason to say anything bad about the chap. I really haven't, because he doesn't actually have anywhere to put the car until it's being mended somewhere, and that I believe will be happening at some point. I believe that will happen at some point. I don't know if that's a guess at what's happening next, Windy Miller. Hey? Ah, right. New Metal Viking Johnny Crook asks, is Johnny Crook going? Johnny Crook, the car, is believed to be going on Saturday. There's a man coming up from quite a long way off to drive him all the way back to quite a long way off on Saturday. And that's a sale for the yard, and a sale for the team, and actually more importantly, a sale for Boaty, because he's behind. He wanted to do this challenge of who can sell the most cars right at a time where he didn't sell anything. Unfortunate, but that's about to change. Harry Snid says Susie Sunshine. Now, does anybody know who Susie Sunshine is? Yes, some of you do. That's the promise. That's the promise. Apparently, Susie Sunshine is going to be collected, and that phone call that I missed then could very, very well have been connected with that, because it was a number I didn't recognise, and I hadn't promised a phone call. And that would suit me down to the ground. Dun to the ground, dun to the ground, dun to the ground, dun 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 to the ground, dun to the ground, dun to the ground. Now, a little problem happening, slight problem happening just here, and that is that I've just made myself another cup of tea, and I'm in the need for a wee. And I had one not long before I set the live stream up, but I'm going to need another one, so I'm probably going to have to just lock you in so you don't escape and go anywhere, and then just nip down to the little room now. So what we can do is just wait there. I've got to lock the door because that I don't want to take you with me, do I? And that phone's quite expensive. How did that feel, being locked up in the lockup with Nigel? You're genuinely locked in the lockup. And I've just run up the yard there to try and save some time. But the time I will have saved will be used up again trying to catch my breath. It's not very far, but I'm getting old. Yes. I can't really do running and talking and breathing simultaneously. I have to just do one or the other. I have to choose which one I like the best and do just that normally. There. So you could be thinking, well, if you're going to keep drinking tea, you're going to need to go for a wee quite a lot, aren't you? Why not just not drink so much tea? Well, the answer is, if I don't drink tea, I get thirsty. If I get thirsty, then I struggle to speak clearly. And that doesn't really work too well with a live stream, does it? No, it doesn't. Right, so anyway, when some more people come back, I'm going to do something to try and help push things along a little bit further. There's no point when it was up to 40 something a minute ago, dropped down to 33. That's not the time to start asking people to do channel memberships and stuff like that. And I don't want to sound desperate to so few people. I might as well sound desperate to lots of people, haven't I? It's another golf, isn't it? Oh, cursed the golf. No, it's not. Although I still don't really think that buying a golf was such a bad idea. I don't. I mean, just because we didn't make any profit on it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it again. No, I shouldn't do it again. Oh, no, I won't be looking out for one of those. Shh, says Hairy Snid. Shh. I think maybe it's because Hairy Snid knows my little secret I'm talking about, and he's a man I can trust with that particular secret. So thank you for obviously doing that and showing that you know, but you're not going to tell other people, which is almost like tempting people to come and message you to say, oh, what's all this about then? Eh? Anything really interesting? Is it something we should know about? Well, it's something you will know about, given time. Oh, Flabber Jabber. Has anyone been to Jazz's farm yet? Jazz's farm. Has anyone been to Jazz's farm yet? No. Is that Jazz's, as in Jeremy Clarkson? Yes. Well, the answer to that is yes. They have. Lots of people have been there. Lots of people indeed. And that's how he's managed to keep the thing open. Because he can have a farm shop and charge farm shop things for... He probably doesn't need the money, but that's the beauty of that. If you don't need the money, you can charge more money for things because you don't need the money that you're going to inevitably get eventually for those particular things. Parknest is here. Hi everyone from Yorkshire. Hello Parknest. Any news on the shitty rover? Asks Simone. Well, not from me, because it's not my venture. I'm not really interested in it, to be honest. I've done a review in one. Yeah, it's not a good car. I don't want one. I'd have a drive in it. It'd be funny to have a drive in it because I just think it's so awful. But I don't want any part in it particularly. I don't want to buy it. I don't want to keep it. I don't want to drive it any more than to Istanbul and back. That would really be my part of it. It's Boaty that wants the City Rover. And the thing is, once he's had it, he'll probably be really quick to get rid of it as well. I don't think he's going to be impressed with it at all. I really don't. Hello Simone, says Parknest. Boaty was saying that there was going to be a conflab in the City Rover on the stream last night. Yes, that is true. He's trying to get people together so they can buy it collectively. So he can have the joys of a City Rover without the responsibility of actually owning it, which is pretty smart, because it means that everybody else is going to be, well, not everybody else, but all the people that are also interested can have the same miserable experience together of owning a City Rover. And I wish you all luck with it. I have 42 watchers at the moment, 14 likes. If anybody's not a channel member, 99 pence, that can get you started on the absolute bog standard channel membership thing, where you get to view, you know, just a few videos that other people can't see. And what I keep meaning to do, and I keep forgetting to do, is setting the live streams as channel members only once they've been up for a couple of days, so everyone can view them if they want to do, and then they don't clutter up the actual videos so much, because that's kind of what's happening with them. Can you play a cheerful song in a minor chord? That is an interesting question. That's actually a challenge now. So I'm going to even take you up on it. I don't know a cheerful song as such with a minor chord, but let's see if I can manage it. So we have keyboard on, and which minor should we go for? The C minor is always the easy one, but it doesn't sound very cheerful at all, does it? So maybe we should do that's not particularly. A minor is probably the best one. I think it's probably quite difficult to do. There's a reason it's called minor, and that is quite a good challenge. But I think I'd quite like to take that seriously and see if I could make something. You could always cheat it. Hang on. You take the third out of it, so it's just a fifth. Still sounds quite sad, but there we go. So I think the answer to that is not really. But I'm sure it's possible. Maybe if you do it with a smiley face, because bands like the Smiths did it the opposite way around. Where they used major chords and rather sad lyrics, didn't they? And that's happened quite a lot, because then it's kind of contrived, and to be contrived is also quite challenging and minor. Yeah. You're giving me some thoughts here, Windy Miller. I do very much appreciate that question. That's right. What's right? All right, we're probably talking Jefferson City. Right, yes, okay, Jefferson City, the capital of Missouri. Parkness, Halifax, West Yorkshire, and Windy Miller is in Tallinn. Soggy Plymouth for Simone. Everywhere's soggy today, isn't it? Andrew Buttigeek, hello Mustard, and everyone. 2:22 a.m. here. 2:22. So you are 1:22 a.m. as well. Yes, so you're 12 hours either ahead or behind, and I can't remember where you're from. Hang on. Right. Yeah, do tell me, Andrew. Just us and the fish then, says Hairy Snid. No, there are a couple of other people, because it was just a bit too difficult to keep it to myself. So a couple of the key people, let's say, people I speak to on a regular basis. One of them is not very good at keeping news to himself, but he's promised he would do on this particular instance. And Nigel, oh, of course, yes. He's gone to siphon the python. I did, and I'm glad I did, because now I can relax. I don't have to keep moving around all the time whilst I talk to you. Although I do like to move around whilst I talk to people, just because it's what I do. If I stand still, and it's the same for most people of my age, I reckon, you stand still, that's when your back goes, and that's when your legs go, and that's when your feet start hurting. So unless you're moving around, you're in trouble. You're in troubly doodah. Loud. Oh, if you want to know the progress on Nigel, by the way, because I haven't really told you much about it, I've yet to start doing all of the paint rectification down the sides. And the other thing is, I wanted to take that front bumper off as well. I wanted to take the front bumper off and actually give that a proper good going over. But I don't think there's going to be time to do all this in the space of time that I have left until the end of the month. But I don't think there's anything particularly significant coming up in March that would make me think I need to have this car back out on the road. So it may just stay here for 2 months after all. No, it's not stuck in my tooth. I think it was a fish. Help, we're locked in, says Simone. Turn me to tum-ti-tum, tum-ti-tum. I think that's dun 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 dun. Come on, somebody say something funny to make me amused by something other than myself. At least Mustard isn't wearing a mic. Oh right, well it wouldn't actually get that far anyway. Although maybe it would, because actually although I've got a walk off around the other side of the building, it ends up as being reasonably close to where I actually am right now. So maybe the range is enough to hear the tinkle going on. We could always try it out, and you can let me know. But I wouldn't really want to leave the mic on, because once you get out of range, you get that horrible scratchy, crackly sound going on that you wouldn't find very pleasant at all. You might even find that even more annoying than my voice going on. Park Nest. Allegro Man will be appearing in one of the caravan videos. Oh, really? Oh, gosh. Allegro Man's getting himself around a bit now, isn't he? I do love the idea of just having people like him just suddenly becoming really well known because they've got this lovely kind of hidden personality. Is going to be in the video that I edit tomorrow, because he brought another car down. So video for tonight is going to be a car review, but the one for tomorrow has got Allegro Man in it. And I'm going to make sure I put the song in Allegro Man tune this time, and it will definitely be going in because that is what I was thinking of at the very start of the video, even changing the words to fit the video. I'm very much looking forward to that one. Right, hang on. Hairy Sniz just asked that then. Is Nigel all finished yet? Well, the answer is no, as I've just said. But actually, I've done nothing on this car since the tailgate. And unfortunately, I've got more work cut out for me with that. Because although I've got the wiring laying through, there's a couple of bits that aren't really quite working. And also the boot spoiler, I use some double-sided tape to stick that down with before putting the four M8 bolts through. One of the bolts has just started going round, and it's not fit quite as well as it should do, and there's a gap. There's a gap, unfortunately, and it's flopping about. So it's fitting less good now than what it was without the tape. So I'm going to have to start that bit again. Then I don't think there's any chance really, unless I just worked on this car, the headline getting done within the next month or so. As long as I can get the rest of the paint looking nice, I'd be happy with that. That could I could probably do that realistically by the end of the month if I actually got on and did stuff like that rather than talking to people in live streams. Does Allegro Man have a channel, asks Barry. He doesn't have a channel, and we have talked about it. We've talked about how I think if he did a YouTube channel, he would instantly have quite a big following, because he's having a fairly decent leg up from quite a few people who really like him. But he doesn't really do technology as such. He does welding. He's a welder man. And he's a man that does things with his hands, but not. Oh, that sounds a bit rude. I was going to say not with his brain, because he does. He's not. He's perfectly capable, but he's not technologically sound. I had him holding my phone yesterday whilst recording, and he just kept getting it wrong. Kept getting it wrong. Bless the chap. So imagine I can help him out with that. I can show him a few things. It's not exactly difficult to use a mobile phone, is it? but it's whether he'd get around to actually making any videos. And I think he'd be better suited, rather than trying to make proper videos, to just do shorts. I reckon that's the answer for him. Let's all encourage Allegra Man to come along and do something good with a YouTube channel. Allegra Man, the round-headed man of the future. And he has got a round head, hasn't he? Now then, says Andrew Buttigieg. Yes, that's it. That's kind of become a phrase, isn't it? Let's do it again. Now then. Has anyone seen John Coupland's latest video on the 75? Nope, I haven't. I'm afraid, Park Nest. I feel like I've always got to explain this, but I just don't get time to watch many videos myself. Last night, for example, I've edited the video that went straight after Boaty's live stream, and then I did another 10 minutes worth of the music videos that are going to come up. And in case you don't know about that, by the way, I've got to complete that before I post any of them, and I think there's going to be about 6 10-minute videos just of my tunes that I've made up over the past couple of years to go with video, because some of them I think make quite interesting standalone tunes. For those that are interested, they're not going to be anything to look at, they're just going to be the music with a black screen, and that's it, with the titles of what they are. And I think this was very much inspired by oh, what's it called? Somebody said, oh, you should do an album. Sorry, I can't remember who it was, and I do apologise for that. Lots and lots. Oh, lovely. 51 people are here now. That's more than 49. I appreciate that for sure. HGF says Harry Snid, and that is commonly known as head gasket failure. But what is suffering with a head gasket failure, I ask? Something somewhere. Probably going to be a BMW or a Mini. Andrew Buttigieg. Oh, right. Oh, hang on. Are we talking about Andrew Buttigieg's car? Oh, dear. Oh. Yes, head gasket. Head gasket time, unfortunately. Right. Harry Snid says 42. Which is that car there, and it was the amount of people watching at the time he put it in the comments. Sadly now it's 39, but hopefully it'll be back to 42, 52 and 142. Who knows? Who knows what could happen next? As I said at the start of this live stream, I've kind of been inspired just to do another one, because there are people coming in from around the world for some reason, just suddenly, and it's kind of an exciting thing. If something was just to start taking off with this channel, I'd be so appreciative. I'd be really, really, really appreciative. I'm very appreciative of the people that are already here. But if I had a whole bunch of other people that I don't know about coming along as well, that would be exceedingly wonderful. Oh, hang on. I reckon his daddy's jumping for joy inside at the prospect of doing the head gasket, says partner. So presumably John Coupland's Rover 75. That's what we're talking about there, isn't it? But it did confuse me a bit though. 42 is the magic number, says Andrew Buttigieg. Yes. Park Nest, Hitchhiker's reference? Yes, of course it is. That's exactly what it is. And if you don't know, I'll tell you. When I first started dabbling with this car, and I thought, it's a Rover 25, but it wants to be a bit more than that. And I thought, what if it's a Rover 27? You know, I'll take the 7 from the 75. But it couldn't work because the 7 is too big. The 75 chrome plated plastic thingies are a different size. So I went a bit further, and I took the 4 from a Rover 45 and called it 42, and I thought, that's even better, isn't it? It is the meaning of life and everything around it. If wanted to be as arrogant as to actually believe that that's really what it is. There's that green light again. There's a green light in the corner of my phone. I've only just noticed it. I noticed it the other day and I can see it again now. Makes me feel like I'm being spied on. As Rob Ali, Nigel's Nigella project Gwanning. Is that going? Is that meant to be going? It could be. Do you mean how's the project, Nigel project, going? I don't know. I don't know if that's what you mean. Hooked on Classics. Bye bye. Oh, sorry. Bye bye. Bye bye for now. John M. Good afternoon, Mustard, and good afternoon to you, John M. Welcome to this live stream, which shall be going on for as long as I feel like. And today, I don't really have any idea of how long it should be going on for. It's just going on for until I get fed up with it. Because what normally happens, I get to the point where I think that's probably enough, and then suddenly more people start coming in, and then I feel bad about going, or I have to go, and then more people come in, and then I feel bad about that then. So at the moment, I have got time to just go on for as long as I really want. But now that I find that after about an hour and 15 minutes, my voice is just giving up anyway, even with lots of cups of tea. But it would be nice to see some more progress in, oh gosh. Channel memberships. Oh yes, the 99 pence channel membership. I thought it was going to be a big hit, but it's not been so far. There's time yet. Right. Have a great day, Simone, says Andrew Buttigieg. And also Partness says bye-bye. And Simone says bye-bye to more people, and more people, and more people. And John's dad is Ace, says Hairy Snid. Now this is obviously a channel I don't really know about, but there are so many YouTube channels that you could possibly follow, watch, and invest your time to, that I often don't really get time to. US Marshals. It's the US Marshals Open the Nor. I've got no idea what you mean by that, but thank you for saying it, because anything that makes me question what somebody said is always a good thing. And you could explain further if you like, if you're still here. And again, we have this same kind of thing. If you're a regular here, and you see somebody asking a direct question, and you know I'm not going to get to it, just tell them so they don't feel like they're being ignored. Andrew Buttigieg, Melbourne, Australia. Ah, yes, of course. Where you're going to be rapidly approaching winter soon, but it'll still be warmer than here. Harrison, hello, Freddy Fails Bear. Whatever that is. Hello, Freddy Fails Bear. I don't know what it is, but I like it. What's the Nor? Asks. What's the Nor? Asks Windy Miller, which is a good question, because I asked that as well. Somebody called Hello has joined, and some rather impossible for me to read writing. Now, it may be the same as what I had the other day, where I had somebody doing that kind of thing, and I said, I don't understand it, I don't understand what language it is, I don't understand what you're saying, and then they came back and spoke English to me as well, which was rather interesting. But just be sure, I cannot actually read that, I'm sorry. TTFN Simone, I am just a person. Oh, you look like you love beaches. I love beaches. That's an interesting question then. I do like beaches. Yeah. Oh, did you mean peaches? I think you meant beaches. Yes, you do. There's so many things to like about beaches. Sand, the sea, and the reason you only ever go there if it's warm. So, sun as well. Yeah. Last year I went to Formby Beach, which is in England, and had a jolly good time that I wasn't even expecting to have because I don't normally like taking time off work. But it was lovely. It was lovely. It was warm. Somebody's calling me again. I'm going to have the same thing again, aren't I? Where it's going to flick this off. This is so annoying. There's no reason for it to do it, but the moment that the phone call ends, this screen that I'm on just goes away, whatever it is I'm doing, just like it did then. And that could be whilst I'm in the middle of a live stream, which is inconvenient, or taking a video. And you may tell, okay, you may have noticed I do quite a lot of time-lapse stuff. I find time-lapse stuff quite interesting, especially with clouds. Now, if I was to leave my phone on the windscreen whilst I did a 20-minute time-lapse, I can condense it into about 2 seconds. That would look fantastic. But should somebody ring me whilst that's going on, it would disappear. And that's annoying. Right, I'm sorry, Mr. Hairy Snip. You sent me a message there and I didn't really get a chance to read it. I just saw something about Mr. Berry. Right, too many cars, Steve. Hi, Paul and everyone. I know I've just rejoined the channel. Seeing as I watch, I get up. You get up. I think it's only. Oh, right, it's fair to make a contribution again. Keep it up, and keep Toby Charles. It would be my dream to keep Toby Charles. It really would. And do you know what? This month I've been using that car because I promised myself I would do, and I've used it an awful lot. Only today and yesterday I ended up using the 45. Did I use it yesterday? No, I didn't. I used the 45 because I had to put some diesel in it for the run up Blackstone Edge. I thought I might as well use it, but I miss it. I really, really miss Toby Charles. I'd love to keep that as my everyday car. Oh, noise is going on. VED is going up on April the 1st. My car is currently sitting in the garage. Previously I couldn't be bothered to sawn it, but now I'm going to have to do that. Take that, Jeremy Hunt. You sound a bit grumpy. LRV. I love smelling cat's fart. Well, that is certainly some very, very interesting information indeed, and I'm very glad you put it in my live stream because it was well worth reading out and everybody knowing about it. There's another new one, I think, there. Toadfish 2000. Happy Wet Wednesday, Mustard. Oh no, you know who I am, so it can't be that you. So what you taking to poll this year? Or, more to the point, what car do you think will make it to poll this year? Well, I've not struggled to get there. I'm taking this. I'm taking that. That's the car that maybe, for many people, they don't really need to see any more. They've seen enough of it. They're fed up of seeing it, but that is my keeper car, isn't it? Whatever the case, Nigel will always be in my possession. Nobody's ever going to want to have Nigel, and I don't really want to sell it, and nobody could afford it. So that is the car I shall be taking. And thank you for your question. The Goth World. Hey Nigel, I see your iconic car in the back. You do indeed. Iconic. I've never heard anybody mention it as iconic before, but I quite like that. Good. Oh, press like a Goth World if you like. Press like. Come on, press the like button, everybody. It's so easy to do and it helps. Mercedes-Benz. Name and car for an edit. Name a car for an edit. What edit? I don't know what you mean. I'm sorry about that. I don't understand your question. If it is a question, I don't think it is actually. Chris Bowen is here. Hey Paul, how's it going? Well, it's going quite well. How's it going for you? And whereabouts are you as well? And Chrono K, hello. Chrono, is it Chromo? I think that is Chromo. I'm gonna have to. It's time for the reading glasses again. I've mentioned this before, but I can kind of read at that distance, and then after about an hour, my eyes start to get a bit tired with it. I think. Chromo, yes, Chromo K. Hello, Chromo K. Whereabouts are you? Oh, you've already told me. Dallas, USA. I wish I was American. It seems really unfair actually for people in Britain to have all this rain all the time. There's nothing nice about getting wet and smelling like a dog. A goth world. I love seeing you drive about in Nigel. Ah, I see. My partner and I would give each other mini digs when we see your car, and we do double digs. Oh, you mean you've actually seen the car in person? Well, it's a very good possibility, because although it is my showpiece of a car, it's a proper working car as well, and it does live outside most of the time and do car duties, which it enjoys doing. And that's one of the reasons why it's been very successful at being my car and staying my car. That tea's gone cold, which is really disappointing. Yeah, Dallas, USA. Thank you, Chromo. Now, what's that? Witsboy 989. Witsboy 989. 989. Hello, 989. How are you doing? I poop in my gas tank. Well, now, are you suggesting that you have a really old diesel that can run off absolutely anything, even to the extent you can run it off solids? That could provide some good value for money then, can't it? All right, okay, thank you, Windy Miller. I clicked the output from this channel, so I'm happy to add my name to the algorithm pressure group to present this live stream in the feeds of people around the world's button. Dinagamir Bigo. What a lovely chap. Chromo, what's your favorite car to work on, and where do you get your music from in your videos? Well, my favorite car to work on is none. I don't like working on cars. I just do what I have to do. That's really it. I prefer to make paint shiny instead. And the music on the videos is mine. I make the music up. Quite a bit of it. I have to head out. Ta-ta for now. Well, thank you, Barry, and thank you very much for joining in this live stream. It's been lovely to have you here. Do you think you would still drink tea if mugs and cups and glasses hadn't been invented? Hadn't been invented, and you had to scoop it out of the kettle or teapot with your bare hands. What's wonderful about that is it's an impossible question to answer, because we all know that nobody would drink tea. I mean, the kettle would become the cup, wouldn't it? We'd just have to use the kettle. I suppose there's a possibility that but where would you get the tea? You'd have to put the tea bags in the kettle, and then you drink it straight out of the kettle. It would get awfully dirty. And with the invention of electricity coming long before the invention of pottery, you'd imagine that the kettles would take an awful lot of looking after, and you couldn't have that many cups of tea between cleaning them out again. What's an interesting question. Thank you. What car are you working on, Nigel? Well, the ghost dog is exactly kind of, you've answered your own question with the question. That is this one. On all the other cars have things that need doing on them that I'm not necessarily going to be doing myself. And I knew this, I saw this coming, but Harry Sneyd has given in to the peer pressure, not the peer pressure, has given in to the pressure of my big thumb and said, yep, maybe it's worthwhile giving you £1. So thank you very much for that. Looking for, I could buy a beer with that. And I think I deserve it. Thank you very much. Now, Binoco, Benocio de Dos Ramos, hi, hello, say Jacob for 10k. Okay, whatever 10k is, Jacob, that's Jacob. I'll say it as many times as you like for 10k. Thank you very much, Jacob. Jacob. And Scotty AP says, shh, but I'm not sure to what. Is that the sound of undoing the lid on a lemonade bottle? Or is it the sound of you trying to keep somebody quiet? Because if it's me you want to keep quiet, you can just turn the volume down. Andrew Buttigieg, winter's so far away. 38 degrees centigrade here today. Yeah, that is does seem like a long way off, doesn't it? Because actually it's unlikely we'll even get to that temperature at any point during the year ever. So that's, I would say that's too warm. Windy Miller asks 10k for pounds or dollars, which is a very good question. In fact, it's very relevant, and I thank you for answering that, asking that one. I also like bitches, says Gisot Gaming. Oh, well, another moderator's probably handled that one. Just did somebody messing about with the gate. And Daryl Baker, watching from Newfoundland, Canada. Chromo 27C here today. Where are you from, Andrew? Australia, Chromo. -2 degrees Celsius here today, says Daryl Baker. Let's just have a quick look to see what was going on with the gate there. Oh. Well, surprisingly enough, it is one of the carpet fitters that have come in and left the gate open. Yeah. Now, these two chaps, you're leaving the gate open because they're coming back out again anyway, then you think, well, it's not such a big deal. But they don't know that I'm even in, because that is closed. And I bet they'll go out and they'll leave it wide open again, because that is very, very disrespectful. And that's what I seem to be expecting from these people. I keep hearing some funny squeaking sounds. Black Lines. I like coming onto these live streams because I feel less mentally ill relative to some of the people who comment. No offence, he says also. I'm sure that none was taken. I get a government grant to do this for you, BL. And Das Bros, hi, how are you? Thank you, I'm well. BL, and Andrew Buttigieg finds that funny, I think. Chris Bowen, it's going okay, thanks. I'm in North Devon, close to Exmoor. Great channel, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm always going to be appreciative of anybody saying such nice things to me. I need a wee again, I don't believe it. I have actually drunk quite a lot of cups of tea today, if I'm just going to be really honest. And it's a bit nippy as well. And that means that you tend to need to go quite a bit. So I could actually just end the live stream, or I could just lock the gate, lock the door again and go for a wee. which seems awfully rude of me, but you know, if we was down the pub having this conversation, I wouldn't be sat without going for a wee from time to time. And you lot, all of you 40 people here that I've gone down the pub with, would be okay with that, wouldn't you? Because you just chat with each other. You wouldn't be expecting just one person to do all of the talking, like what seems to be going on right now. And good night, sweet princesses. Good Chrome OK. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm so bored, says Edgar Blove. Boring. What would you like to do? Should we play I Spy? That's interesting. Now, there's no need for anybody to be bored during the live stream, because if you don't like it, you just do something else, don't you? That would kind of, is it the case that the only thing possible to do would be to watch my live stream at the moment, and you don't get it, and that's it. So I'm sorry, I'm going to just leave this running. I don't really feel like I'm out of motivation, but I am out of bladder space. There we go, I'm back, and I've closed the gate because that's what needs to be done. It's not difficult, is it? Gates, doors, those kind of things, sometimes they get left open, sometimes they get closed. Now, the simplest solution is you leave things as you find them. So, gates closed, you close it. Open, you leave it. These chaps, eh? Shall we get some scratch cards and run them off together quietly? Yes, says Edgar. Which one, scratch cards or I Spy? Yes, says Black Lines. I didn't win on my scratch card, Edgar. Your turn. And look at that. Black Lines has now become a channel member of the Cheapo One, taking advantage of it not costing that much in the first place. It's something you're all capable of doing, and you get just a little bit of gratitude from me, and I very, very much encourage you to do so. Thank you very, very much indeed. If you need a wee We'll keep ourselves occupied, says Andrew Buttigieg. And it looks like you have done, or certainly some of you have, because there are still 31 people knocking about in this live stream at the moment, which isn't bad, being as I wasn't here. Windy Miller, last time this happened, I went to the toilet too, so we both got back at the same time, which was... What happened then? So we both got back at the same time, which was poor for me because I didn't have to go as far. I don't need to go now though. And that might be because you did a better job of emptying out, or you've not had another cup of tea in between. And I will hold off having another cup of tea now, even though I have the urge to have one. It's like I don't feel right unless I've got a cup of tea in my hand. Maybe I should try something else. Like an egg. I can have an egg. Except I don't want one. Last week I brought some boiled eggs in, and then I brought some more in the week after, and there was one left, and I got a bit peckish, so I ate it. And then I discovered that the egg that I did eat was the one that had been there for way over a week, and it didn't do me any harm. Eggs are good. Eggs are good. Ooh. Don't you know that eggs are good? Has Edgar scratched his card yet? Sounds like he's going into the corner. Is that a fish tank? There's a fish tank in the... Oh, right. Oh, that number's ringing me again. I wonder if he's desperate to actually do this job today or something. Right, okay. I don't know whether I should just disappear now and just get this phone call. In fact, yeah, I'm going to just... fabulous. So thank you very much. Let's see if anybody comes back, though. That's the thing. Because... well, I've got the opportunity to read out some of these comments from people that I don't know, at least, if nothing else. And, oh. Edgar Bluth. That's going to be a familiar name, I reckon. Where did we get to? Ah, there we go. That's the fish tank BL. I hope you win, and might take a while. Might take a while with a crayon. Oh, that's cruel. I guess you didn't win, sad face. Zoya 3. What is going on? What is going on? Whatever you'd like to be going on is the answer to that. I'll tell you in a minute. Once we get some more people back, I'll announce some news, I reckon. Because there is some news that's worthwhile announcing. Stephen S. Paul, morning mustard and friends. Yes, good morning to you. And another rather strange, I don't understand that face, whatever that emoji is that Edgar's doing there, but keep doing it because it's fine, and I'm not offended by it. I don't think it is offensive, and you can carry on doing it, and I'm sure it's making you feel very, very happy. Whoa, did another one win this one time, Edgar, says Windy Miller. Chris Bowen. What happened to the toilet that previously... What happened to the toilet that a previous tenant had installed and then subsequently left? Well, it's still here. If that's the one you mean. Why would he wouldn't take the toilet with him, would he? No, it's round the back. It's in the same place. It's the same toilet. I'm the only one that uses it these days. Black lines. We don't talk about it, Chris, but Boaty now has to wear a nappy at the yard. Don't worry, Boaty did not destroy the toilet. Toilets don't get broken that easily. Oh, you see, whilst that interruption was going on, I made myself another cup of tea, which means I'll probably end up having that third wee break during a live stream, which is unheard of. I scratched off my second scratch card and I didn't win again, says Windy Miller. Jimmy F500. Tricky chaps, bladders. They can get very demanding after a while. Yeah, they can. And, you know, obviously the older you get, the more problems they give to you. My fishes are having fun in there. What are they doing? Are you hungry? Are you hungry, little fishy friends? I think they are. Stephen S. Paul, sounds like those guys are opening and closing the gate. Lazy bastards. They are, but actually unusually, I went round, the gate was open, I come back and it was still open and they were sat down at the end. So I closed it because that's what you do with gates. And I just looked out now and it's closed and they've gone. So maybe they got the hint this time. Shouldn't be difficult to get, should it? But they've obviously got it. Crowdfund for tenner for men. Right, thanks for that. Thanks for that. Yeah, very good, very well done. Chris Maguire. Have you still got the GSI up for sale with the rest of the cars? Yes, I have, Chris. Oh gosh. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, Toby Charles, the 420 GSI is still up for sale, and it's still probably never going to go because I'm just not going to sell it for anything less than what I've got it up for, and that is that's this price is worthwhile selling it for that. Yeah, because they're still not worth a fortune, but for such a rare car and not the best condition, obviously, but with a mileage that isn't stupid and most of it either working or still attached, I think £2,885 isn't actually ridiculous. I think it's quite what else could you get for that money, that kind of rarity? I don't think you could get anything quite as unique and as rare and as interesting for anywhere near that kind of price, and that's why I don't want to sell it, and that's why I wouldn't sell it cheap anymore. Rover Joe is here. Hey up, Paul. Hey up. Hey up, Rover Joe. How are you doing? What for Liam? What do you mean, what for Liam? What for Liam? Oh, Liam Harris. Oh, okay. Liam. No, not Harris. Haim. Liam Haim. Literally having this second. What? It's almost like the comments have gone the wrong way round, and like Windy Miller should have been answering that after he'd said that rather than the other way round. Maybe Windy Miller's got this special ability to actually predict what the next comment is going to be. That wouldn't surprise me. And then Atuza with something I can't possibly read. I haven't got a clue what you're saying, which is bad. I'm sorry, but I don't understand all languages, unfortunately. Eggs are good. Eggs are good. Eggs are one of the best things. Apparently, they're one of the best sources of protein you can get. And if you want to stay healthy and be reasonably slim, eat lots of eggs. That's what I have been told. But oddly enough, not by medical practitioners who seem to be still preaching the ways of the old food scale thing, which has an awful lot of stuff in there. The balanced diet has an awful lot of foodstuffs that really isn't very good for you. Windy Miller, no way, Liam, that's terrible. Do you think he did it? I've got no idea how this is working here. What? Right, hang on. I'm going to just look down here and see if Liam was. I can't see Liam anywhere, which is really rather strange. Can't possibly be predicting what he's going to say next. I think so. He seems like a dodgy guy, says Liam Haim. And of course, I don't know who you're talking about. Hope it's not me. Windy Miller, does that mean the other guy forgot his name? The one with hair and the orange face. Does he present? Is he the president now? Oh. Oh, take the call, Paul, says Jimmy. Well, I did do, because I accidentally knocked the live stream off. So, because I knocked the live stream off, I thought, well, I might as well just quickly call him back. And this chap, very, very chatty, is coming to pick up, get ready for this, the MGTF owned by Steve Berry. Either tomorrow morning or the next day. And he's coming to do it, not Steve. He's coming to do it. And he seems very much like he's going to be here. So there we go. I'll have another space. I'll have another space in the yard. Stop your jib from moving. This chap I know, he used to do this. He said it was 1960s jaw dancing. And they did do that, didn't they? The less well-known spin-off from the Better Call Saul. Steve Cold, don't pee in Boaty's mug. Flowerstone Floors. Hi. Hello, Flowerstone Floors. Jerome Joe says hello. And then another one of these that I can't quite read who says hello. So I'm going to call you Pinky Poopar. Pinky Poopar or Pinky Ninky Poopar says hi. Was that Steve Berry? Asks Windy Miller. And Pinky Ninkapopa is from Ukraine, which is great because that's another place where my live streams seem to be successfully getting themselves to. Windy Miller, no, it wasn't Steve Berry. I spoke to Steve this morning for, oddly enough, actually quite a while, because whilst I was on the phone to the boatie, he called me. So I called him back afterwards, and he sounded like he was in a cafe or something, or a restaurant. And I thought it was only going to be a quick one, but it was about 15-minute, 20-minute phone call, where we also talked about some possibilities of something else rather interesting that could come up, which again, maybe I shouldn't tell you about it just in case it doesn't happen, or maybe I shouldn't tell you about it because it wouldn't really be very interesting. But he thinks I might be quite good working on television. It's kind of going towards that kind of thing, except not television, YouTube. And he reckons I should have a YouTube channel. And I said I've already got one. Yeah, I know that. I know. Yeah, but I mean a big one. I know. I should have a big YouTube channel, one that everybody sees. He said I might be able to help you with that. And so he's got this little idea on the go, and maybe we'll have a meeting about this. And I say maybe because I don't want to say we definitely will do, just in case we don't. Whereas actually I think we probably will. And that was that conversation. But of course the MGTF sat down there in the corner, has been there for a while. So he's going to need his tyres pumped up. He's going to need a couple of this and that's, and hopefully I can manage that before it gets collected tomorrow morning. It is going to be after tomorrow morning because tomorrow I've got to have the day off. The rest of it, I've got to have the afternoon off. Got to have the afternoon off so I can do other things with my afternoon off. Now then, where are these people? What's happened to my comments? Let's click that there. Top chat, live chat. Oh, and look at that. We've got some. What happened? Right. I knew that would happen. I forgot to do that before. Then the comments seem to disappear. And it looks like there were no comments going on and everybody's gone. But of course they haven't done. There's just here. But it's just got changed somehow. Naruto Gaming. Naruto Gaming is here. Hi from India. Well, that's jolly good to have somebody from India here. Join the channel. Subscribe to Project Nigel. Maybe I should say that more often. And then Kalen's nuts in my mouth says, say full name. Kalen's nuts in my mouth. I hope that really made you happy. Rover Joe asks, did Boaty have an explosive diarrhea? Not that I know of. No, I think we might be making some stuff up there about him. Now Rutu Gaming, you with some question marks. In fact, 4 question marks. That's quite a lot. Normally one will do. AK-47, what is your name? Now, normally when somebody that's claiming to be a gun asks you what your name is, you'd say, sod off. And I'm going to say that's what my name is now. My name is Sod Off, which is a very unusual name, but it works. And it gets the message across. Are you in Scotland? Asks Windy Miller. I am 2 hours ahead, remember. I could be, couldn't I? I'm going to say yes, yeah, I am in Scotland. I might as well be. I love eggs, says Windy Miller. I think we should all love eggs. But are there enough eggs to go around? Because we would need more chickens than there are people to feed the nation on eggs. Chickens are a lot smaller than people, aren't they, remember? So that's quite possible. Get ours from a farm, really fresh, doesn't even have stamps on. Yeah. Isn't it amazing how long eggs keep for? Have you ever wondered this? I have, because they seem to keep for ages. And also, if you don't have stamps on eggs, then you don't know how long they've been around. But would you rely on the date? Or instead, would you prefer to do the traditional method of finding out whether your egg is edible or not, which is to drop it into a pot of water to see if it floats? That's what I do, because the same with any product, whether it be dairy or meat, sometimes they can go off even when the date suggests otherwise. I was going to make some chicken, not make some chicken, but cook some chicken about 3 years back, and I had one of those plastic trays that were sealed of chicken, and it had about 4 days left on the date, but I opened it up and it didn't smell like chicken, it smelled like fish. And that to me indicates that you should ignore the date and just chuck it away, which I did. Whereas often I pick up some meat and it's out of date, but you smell it and it smells okay, and surely your nose is a much better indicator of whether things are any good for you than a date. So that's why I would do that with eggs, and even in date eggs. I've known this before as well. Luckily I was frying an egg and it was the first one, popped it into the pan and it was pink. I mean, the whole thing was pink. Didn't smell funny or anything like that, but I thought, oh yeah, I don't fancy eating that, so I didn't. And that is my conversation about eggs complete. Jimmy F500s. Did the live stream stop? Mine is messed up. It did. It kind of went on pause by accident, because what did I do? What did I do? I don't know what I did now. Oh yeah, I was going to do something and I accidentally just closed off all the windows, but I didn't realise the window was still available in the background to carry on going, and that's what I did. Liam's original comment has disappeared. He came in to tell us that Joe Biden has been arrested for selling things to someone. Oh right, I see. Well, thanks for filling me in on that, Windy Miller. What kind of things? Well, I can guess. I mean, I always find it a bit odd, really, when you have people like that who have got lots and lots of money and lots of influence doing dodgy things, because they simply don't need to, do they? They don't need to get by. When you have people doing dodgy things that have got absolutely bugger all, I don't understand it, but I can understand it. You know what I'm talking about. General Cheeseburger is here, and good afternoon, campers, he says. Don't forget us when you're famous and going on loose women and stuff like that. I won't forget you. Of course I won't. I'll never forget Windy Miller. Windy Miller is going to be permanently in my mind forever, along with some of the others of you. But Windy Miller's right up there, right up at the top. In the top of the people that I've never met, Windy Miller is definitely there. Welcome to chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. That's what it says there. You can't have a muff magnet on loose women. It's daytime TV. I'm not sure that that's exactly how it works. It'll be daytime TV. You can have whatever you like. You're just not allowed to say it. Oh, you're back. Thought you disappeared, Mustard. Went and watched Boaty's latest diary. That was quick, wasn't it? Unless you realise I'd come back and thought, right, I'll do that later on instead. I had an egg in Finland. Lovely it was, but quite pricey, says Windy. Tom Gibson. Ah, right. Eggs are from birds, aren't they? He says. And, well, yes, we all know they're from chickens and other kind of birds and dinosaurs. You're thinking of Custard Tom. Right. Custard. Bird custard. Right. Okay. Yes, maybe. Ah, right, I see. Yes, maybe birds. My custard. No, bird's custard. Yes. Not seen that for a while. Powdered custard. Very nice. If that's what you like. Personally, I don't. Platypuses lay eggs and they're not chickens, says Andrew Buttigieg. And that is true. But I did say there are other things that lay eggs as well. Like, well, fish. Fish lay eggs. We don't tend to eat their eggs very often, though, do we? If your eggs float in water, then they're okay. No. Or maybe it's the other way around. A good egg sinks. Either way, pop your egg in the water to see if it's good or not. Well, yes, if it floats, then it's not good. If it floats, then it's full of gas. If it sinks, it's fine. Cheeseburger. If your balls float in the water, then you will never sink. Oh gosh, I've actually caught up with comments. So that feels like it. That's the cue for me to go and see whether I've upset any of my subscribers by doing a lengthy live stream during the daytime. And it's stopped raining as well now. Secret things according to Liam. I think it wouldn't be a big deal if he sold a 10-year-old Mazda or his iPhone 7. Top chat and live chat. Oh, right, hang on, what are these other things there? Right, super chat. Super chat is... Wait, right, okay, super chat is where you find out which members have become members whilst you've been doing a live stream. And none, which is no chat, top chat, and live chat. Right, I'm figuring some of this out. Right, Isaac Hunt is here. Afternoon, mofo. Fish eggs, caviar, says Andrew Buttigieg, and no mention of dentists. Okay, no mention. Why do we need to talk about dentists? Dentists don't lay eggs. That's a good point. That's a very good point. Has anybody else got a good point to make? We discussed dentists at length earlier. It was very tedious. Who did? I didn't discuss dentists. I don't think I did anyway. That would be rather tedious. Have you ever driven a Lambo? Oh, right, you were on the bog. Oh, I see. I wasn't on the bog. I went for a wee wee. I went for a number 1. That doesn't include being on the bog, does it? Teethidius. Teethid, yeah, very good. Tom Gibson. It's almost a joke. Dentists don't lay eggs. No, I haven't driven a Lamborghini. There are an awful lot of cars that I haven't driven that I would quite like to drive. And so far, I've never driven a supercar. I have driven cars that are very fast. Some very fast cars. I'm just wondering which is the fastest car that I have ever driven, or the most fast accelerating car. Not necessarily high top speed, but I think it would probably be the Audi S4. Or the has anybody seen the 6.6 litre hot rod thing I drove? That was fast and that was scary, and it felt like it was going to go off the road at any point. And although I did enjoy it, I was glad to get back out of it again. Oh, hey. All right, in the bog, up the bog. A sharp stick makes a good point. Very good, very true. Isaac Hunt, pissing it down in Sweden, down the bog. 5 years and I'm out, moving to Spain. Isaac Hunt. Oh, aren't you the chap who's got £11,000 spare, or 11,000 something spare every week? Because if you are, you could join the channel for £1 a month. Carry on at your convenience. Says Andrew, I drove a car with Rambo engine. Does that count? A Rambo engine? I don't know what that is. The hot rod Dodge, very nice. Right, I guess you did see it then, didn't you, Andrew? Bought a brand new Rover Metro, 1993. Right. Yep, 10 grand a month income, no mortgage and no debts. Right, okay, so that is an awful lot of money for you to be showing off about. And if your name is Isaac Hunt because you like to show off about these things, then that's not very fair. You should be a bit more nice about these things, okay? Now join my channel. Rover Joe has his own oil reserve, it seems. That would be definitely there. But putting of lots spare cash into stocks, dude, right? Then it's not spare, is it? Once you've done that, it's no longer spare. I've been promised 10,000 something dollars or pounds today for this live stream for saying something, and I'm wondering whether that's going to really appear in my account, because I didn't actually give out my details, which is probably a mistake. But stranger things have happened. Now then, I reckon it's probably time for me to go and leave all the 37 people here still watching this nonsense to go off and do something else. I'm just going to tell you how much I appreciate you being here and helping keeping the new people company that have turned up and then subsequently gone away again without really watching for very long. Thank you very, very much to my regular people, especially such as Windy Miller. Always appreciate your input. I like this live stream. It was good, well done, and thank you, Windy. Send my regards to Bo T. No, right, okay, bye bye for now. Thank you very much. Thank you, bye.